Tuesday morning, less than 48 hours after the fight, that he would fight Manny Pacquiao again in an interview that is scheduled to air over the weekend. The undefeated champion now says he will not do it. He said, "Did I text Stephen A. Smith and say I will fight him again? Yeah, but I changed my mind at this particular time." No, because he's a sore loser and he's a coward. If you lost, accept the loss and say, "Mayweather, you were the better fighter." And Money then posted the following thing on Twitter just yesterday, where he actually predicted in 2009 that he was in a no-win situation. Let's listen.
I'm in a no-win situation no matter what happens. If I beat Manny Pacquiao, you know what they're going to say? You supposed to beat him. You Floyd Mayweather. You the bigger man. And then if I outbox him, they're going to say it was a boring fight.
He says, throwback to November 2009, I was a visionary. I knew that this day would come and this would happen. Skip, do you have a problem with Money saying now he will no longer fight Manny Pacquiao?
Stephen A. Smith, I have beyond a problem with this. I have outrage over this, and I have zero respect for this. Because you can call Manny Pacquiao a whole lot of things, be my guest, but the one thing you cannot call Manny Pacquiao is a coward. Now, you can argue back to me that maybe Floyd's already trying to hype a potential rematch, but I am not buying that. I don't think that's operating here right now. I think Floyd Mayweather Jr. is actually trying to salvage whatever credibility he has left from what did or did not happen last Saturday night. A coward doesn't go all 12 rounds, the scheduled 12 rounds of a fight, with a significant tear of his rotator cuff that was about to require major shoulder surgery that will keep Manny Pacquiao out for an entire year, up to an entire year. Stephen A. Smith, that took courage, and that took will, and that took guts. And Manny Pacquiao, instead of being applauded for that, at least by people in this country that I'm aware of, he got sued over it. Right now, Manny Pacquiao is the most unfairly vilified superstar athlete I can ever remember. And Floyd Mayweather Jr. is trying to jump on that bandwagon, if not drive it. He also called Pacquiao a sore loser. And I guess I can take that literally, because if you fought for 12 rounds with a torn rotator cuff, yeah, you'd probably be pretty sore when it was over. And I'm sure he was very sore. But the problem here is that Floyd Mayweather Jr. is trying to escape the truth the way he ducks and dodges and escapes like the escape artist that he is in the ring. He schooled, quote unquote, to borrow your word, a one-armed man. His win was a joke on Saturday night. I'm sorry. If you beat a one-armed man who landed more significant punches on you than you landed on the one-armed man, that's a joke. And the real truth here is that after Floyd Mayweather did text you on this last Tuesday morning that he would welcome a rematch, I think reality finally hit him hard. Hit him as hard as Pacquiao did with the left hand a few times on Saturday night. And the reality is that at age 39, a year from now, Floyd Mayweather Jr. knows he can't beat a healthy Manny Pacquiao. So I seriously doubt we will see a rematch, because I think Floyd knows he couldn't win a rematch. Silly me, I for one thought he didn't win the first fight. There's no way I think he could win the second one. So he would not want to risk his chances, his undefeated record against the coward Manny Pacquiao.
I find your opinion on this matter to be utterly ridiculous. First of all, let's understand something. Let's understand something here. He's a boxer. Let's not be literal and hold him to the finite definition of each word. Maybe a coward isn't the appropriate word. Maybe a sore loser applies. A bit spoiled applies. You know, a bit bitter applies. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe the word coward isn't applicable here. But that doesn't mean that we lose context of what Floyd Mayweather is trying to say and how right he is. The fact of the matter is this. He stepped into the ring. He beat Manny Pacquiao. 3 judges said he did it. Boxing writers the world over said he did it. Most of America, outside of Skip Bayless and Evander Holyfield, congratulations with that, says that he beat Manny Pacquiao, and that is that. There are also a lot of people who believe that he didn't hurt his rotator cuff before the fight like that. He hurt it when he was missing nearly 400 swings at Floyd Money Mayweather. That's number 2. Number 3, in the end, what it comes down to is this. Floyd Mayweather is absolutely right. He has absolutely nothing to gain. Because the fact is that if he won the decision and still here they come with this excuse, how about simply sitting there and going like this? I wasn't on my game. I really, really messed up. I got hurt during the fight, but the bottom line is I wasn't on my game. You know, I'd like another crack at this. I think I'd be better next time around. No, you're making a concerted effort, meaning Manny Pacquiao, to diminish everything that Floyd accomplished on Saturday. Bob Arum is joining in with you. We understand it from Bob Arum. He's a promoter. Manny Pacquiao, he should be ashamed of himself. He really, really should. You lost the fight. You lost the fight. And in the end, by losing the fight, you want a rematch, ask for a rematch and call it a day. I need to heal my shoulder. I want to come back. I think I can give it to you a second time around, especially since I've been in with you the first time around. I think I got you figured out. I'll be even healthier next time around. Boom. Instead, you're going around whining. You got the surgery that's going to leave you out for about 9 months or so. Everybody's making excuses for you, not recognizing and realizing you got schooled. I did not see a torn rotator cuff skip in that 4th round. I did not see a torn rotator cuff in that 6th round. To me, in my humble opinion, there is no way on earth that those 2 flurries that Manny Pacquiao had and the way he threw those punches at Floyd Mayweather, that was a torn rotator cuff in the 4th or the 6th round. I don't want to hear it. The bottom line is he lost. And for you to be sitting up here talking about how Floyd, you know, you're disgusted by Floyd or whatever, Floyd is the only person, I'm going to say it again. Floyd is the only person that didn't lie to anybody. Floyd told you exactly what he was going to do. He's not going to go in there trying to imitate Arturo Gatti and Mickey Ward. He's not going to try to be a modern-day Rocky. This is how he fights, and he's going to fight his fight. We decided that this was a mega fight because Manny Pacquiao sold the world on what he was and what he was going to bring to the table, and that was supposed to usurp the greatness of Money Mayweather.
Okay.
It did not happen.
Okay,
and that is the bottom line.
I got to get this straight. So now I think I'm hearing you say that sometime after the 6th round, that Pacquiao was swinging and missing so often that by swinging and hitting only air, he tore his right rotator cuff during the rest of the fight.
Skip? You know what, Skip? You keep messing with me, I'm going to take a long vacation. I've said this for 3 days. I've said it for 3 days.
Just make
3 days.
Well,
I have been saying to you. I've been telling you for 3 days.
But you said it couldn't have been torn during the 4th and the 6th, so I'm going to have to think it happened between 7 and 12.
I said to you.
He hit air and tore his right rotator cuff.
I said to you that whenever he tore his rotator cuff, in my opinion, it was during the fight. It was not before the fight. Okay. Because there's no way he could have thrown the punches that he was throwing with a torn rotator cuff. That's what I said. Okay, so now you can pick whatever round you want. Okay. I've been saying it for days.
Right, so let's go back and look at the facts. Manny Pacquiao quit sparring. He had no more sparring sessions 2.5 weeks before the fight. And the Filipino media, which was covering it moment to moment, day after day, kept asking Freddie Roach, why is he not sparring? Oh, he's actually sparring at an undisclosed location. We just didn't want the media to watch.
So Freddie Roach was lying? So Freddie Roach was lying?
Yeah, he's lying about sparring because he said later he didn't spar for the last 2.5 weeks.
So basically what you're saying is Freddie Roach was lying before the fight.
Manny Pacquiao. Injury.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Freddie Roach was lying before the fight to hide the injury. Right. Manny Pacquiao was lying before the fight to hide the injury. Bob Arum was lying before the fight to hide the injury.
Absolutely.
But now that the fight is over, oh, they're Gandhi. They're truth tellers now.
Okay.
But they were lying before. Okay, but now they're telling the truth.
Okay, so here's what happened. On fight night, Manny Pacquiao asked for an anti-inflammatory or a pain-killing injection in his right shoulder. And because they failed to disclose it the day before at the weigh-in, the Nevada State Athletic Commission said, no, we don't play games that way. You have to disclose it. But guess what happened? because he asked for it, they also had to disclose that he asked and was rejected the possibility of having the pain-killing injection, and they let Mayweather's camp know. So Mayweather was able to fight the fight knowing that Manny Pacquiao had a significant injury in his right shoulder. So the defensive wizard that is Floyd Mayweather Jr., he knows he's fighting a one-armed man. How tough is that? It's a joke.
Was that your Floyd voice?
Yeah, you like that?
Skip Bayless, do you remember?
Some other voice. I don't know what it was.
Skip-
I'm not finished. I'm not finished yet.
Go ahead.
So
Go ahead.
moments after the fight, like minutes after the fight, Bob Arum is sitting in the interview room and tells Yahoo Sports he's got the Kobe Bryant injury. So are you telling me that somehow Arum has X-ray vision, that he can actually take an eye MRI of Manny's shoulder moments after the fight to see a significant tear? Because Kobe's was a significant tear, as was this. And 2 days later, Manny Pacquiao's under the knife of Kobe's doctor in Los Angeles, having significant surgery that will keep him out a year. Don't give me, oh, he heard it later in the fight. No, he heard it 2.5 weeks before, and I told you what happened. He knew he was risking losing the whole fight if he disclosed the injury and said, I need to postpone for a year. What would Floyd have said? He'd say, I'm not fighting you a year from now. I'll be 39 years of age. That's a bunch of baloney. And it would make Manny look silly. Manny said, partly for the money and partly on principle and pride, because he wanted this man badly for all the reasons we've talked about on the show. He said, I'm going to suck it up and I'm going to try to fight him with one hand. And I thought he fought his back end off with one hand.
If you recall correctly, when the whole blood issue came into play years ago, with the drug testing that Floyd Money Mayweather wanted, one of the biggest forms of resistance Manny Pacquiao posed was because he was scared of needles, particularly before a fight. Do you remember that?
I don't remember scared of needles. I remember scared of having his blood drawn on the day of a fight because it might weaken him. That's all I remember.
I remember scared of needles, too, because, the anti-inflammatory shot, I just thought I'd point that out. Number two, it's interesting that you point that out, because the thing about it is this. Like I said, I haven't seen a doctor come on the air and say that somebody with a torn rotator cuff can throw blows like that, like we were seeing Manny Pacquiao try to swing. I haven't seen one doctor come on the air and say that. If I saw something like that, maybe I might have a different opinion. I have not witnessed that. So until I do, I'm not believing it, I'm not buying it. I have no doubt that Manny Pacquiao got hurt during the fight. I sincerely doubt that he was hurt to that degree before the fight. That is my personal belief. I'm not wavering on it one bit. Last but not least, Floyd Mayweather is right. He can't win. Because the bottom line is that y'all gonna have something to say no matter what. But you know what? The boxing world knows. Most observers know. The only two people I know that think Manny Pacquiao won this fight are Skip Bayless and Evander Holyfield. If I'm sitting there and I'm Money Mayweather, you know what? I go on with my life. I got more money. Okay. I got more money than I can spend. I'm worth $500 million. So what? Skip's going to talk about Manny Pacquiao beating him. Nobody believes it. Everybody knows that that's absolutely ridiculous outside of you and Mr. Evander Holyfield that couldn't even come on the show and give us a prediction. His prediction was, I'm going to watch the fight. That was his prediction. I'm going to watch the fight. You understand? We kept asking him what was going to happen. Kept asking him how did you going to win the fight. Kept asking him what should happen to see who would fight. We'll see. Really?
Well, he watched.
Come on now.
And he quickly gave an opinion right after the fight. He said, wait a second, his eyes told him aggressors win rounds. And the more aggressive fighter was Manny Pacquiao. I saw Roy Jones say otherwise. I saw Lennox Lewis say otherwise. I saw Bernard Hopkins come on our network and say otherwise. I saw the great Andre Ward say otherwise. I saw Antonio Tarver say otherwise. I saw a whole bunch of people say it after one round on air on the pay-per-view telecast.
You just all you want to do, you just want to be right because you want to be the ultimate contrarian. You don't have a leg to stand on. He lost. He lost. You just want to sit there and get away with not honoring your bet.
Me personally. Is that what this is?
You didn't honor your bet. I'm going to attack anytime you bring up Manny Pacquiao. You didn't honor your bet.
I think
you didn't honor your bet. You dishonored
There was no stipulation for 2 hours. And
I'm going to remember that. I'm going to remember that.
You remember
you said that.
Okay, last point. I'm going to clinch this.
Clinch it.
speaking of clinches, which is about all I saw during the fight, was Floyd just tying
Floyd
up.
already clinched it.
Yeah.
Saturday night, the verdict came in.
Did you see what Manny Pacquiao said, what he told the Filipino media?
No.
That Floyd
No, but I don't care.
Floyd knew that he was hurt and that Floyd kept pulling on his injured arm. Kept pulling on his injured arm. And I saw that. I did see that. I wondered. I didn't know what he, because I didn't know
So
he
he's
was
Kelly
hurt.
Olynyk now. So he's Kelly Olynyk now for the Boston Celtics. That's what Mayweather is now.
But Kelly's been trying to apologize.
If I was Kevin Love, I'd ignore his damn calls too.
No.
Please. Please, what's there to say? What's there to say?
That Mayweather knew.
Brady made
He
his
beat a
first public appearance yesterday. What
Good
he
job.
said
Impressive.
about Deflategate, children. And then coming up next, there's plenty more on tap. Take a look at our rundown. We're talking about the fight. We're talking about Deflategate. We have Eva Longoria here. Head over to our IG page and check out our Friday rundown. Series tied, a game apiece. NBA history says when a best-of-7 series is tied at 1-1, the Game 3 winner goes on to win 76% of the time. Stephen A., what do you expect from tonight's game?
Well, I expect Derrick Rose to show up. It's his first game pretty much in 3 years on his home turf during playoff time. Considering the level of greatness he's capable of putting on display, he's usually inspired by that home crowd. I expect a big game for him, particularly coming off a 6-for-20 shooting performance in Game 2. The Bulls have no shot at winning this series if Derrick Rose doesn't show up and play like a star. We understand he isn't what he used to be yet. We're all obviously hopeful that he'll get back to what he was health-wise, because it's not about his game, it's about his health. But he needs to be aggressive, he needs to be in attack mode, and he needs to play far more efficiently than he did in Game 2. Being in the front of his home crowd, I can see the Bulls going up 2-1 tonight, handling their business in Game 3. I could see these teams, however, splitting Games 3 and 4. Not really certain who's going to win which game, but I think the series will come back to Cleveland for a Game 5 tie 2-2 at the end of this weekend.
And I say tonight, if LeBron James again wears his headband, the Cavaliers will win this game. Iman Shumpert is obviously a question mark, but J.R. Smith returns. And the other night in Game 2, LeBron James figured out how to attack Jimmy Butler. I think that will continue tonight. I think LeBron will own this game again tonight. And I say Cavaliers win Game 3 at Chicago.
All right, to the West, Clippers-Rockets. Obviously, that series is tied at a game apiece. But here's the big question. Will CP3 play? Is his hamstring good to go after missing Games 1 and 2? Status is still up in the air, Stephen A. So what do you expect from Game 3 tonight?
I expect the Clippers to feed off their home crowd, and I expect their effort to be similar to what it was against San Antonio in Game 1 of the first round, where the crowd was just ablaze. They were buzzing big time. I expect them to feed off the energy of their crowd. I expect Blake Griffin obviously continue to look like the star he's been looking like. I expect Chris Paul to play tonight as well. I think the Clippers win this game.
You know, this is a tough one for me, Stephen A., because I don't know if Chris Paul, if he does play, will he be 30% or 50% or 90% of CP3? I just don't know.
Well,
if he's not above 50% healthy, I might have to go with the visiting team in this game.
I'm picking the Clippers to win tonight's game, whether he plays or not.
Really? Okay. Well, then,
whether he plays tonight's game.
Well, then J.J. Redick's going to have to start making threes again, and Jamal Crawford's going to have to start making threes again, because when they go cold, the Clippers go south. So with if CP3 is like 50% or tries to play 20 minutes, they could have a problem tonight.
I think you'll see Dwight Howard. I think you'll see Dwight Howard hacked a little bit more in tonight's game.
Boy, that'll be fun to watch.
Yeah, what about DeAndre Jordan? What are we expecting?
Well, DeAndre Jordan's going to miss free throws. He's going to make a few. He's going to have a few dunks. I think he's going to have a big game in terms of rebounding and his defensive prowess. DeAndre Jordan is big time. He's just awful from the free throw line. That's all.
Well, if James Harden gets to the free throw line 15 more times and makes all 15, that could decide the issue.
They shot 64 free throws. They're not going to get 64 free throws in Game 3.
Yeah.
And more importantly, Stephen A., since you are in L.A. and the game is legitimate, what are we expecting from the fans? Will they be talking to you first, or will they be going to just see the Clippers players?
Well, the fans always try to talk to me. Yeah. I mean, that's a given. I mean, ain't nothing going to change that way, and I talk to them. Because, you know, Stevie A, he doesn't just love the kids. He loves the people.
The loves of people. I was not aware of that.
I
That's
approve
news
this
to me.
message, I guess.
Yeah.
We hope you guys
I
have a
approve
wonderful.
that message.
We hope you have a wonderful weekend.
You learn something every day.
The better fighter and Money then posted the following thing on Twitter just yesterday, where he actually predicted in 2009 that he was in a no-win situation. Let's listen.
I'm in a no-win situation. No matter what happens, if I beat Manny Pacquiao, you know what they're gonna say? You supposed to beat him. You Floyd Mayweather. You the bigger man. And then if I outbox him, they're gonna say it was a boring fight.
He said Tuesday morning, less than 48 hours after the fight, that he would fight Manny Pacquiao again in an interview that is scheduled to air over the weekend. The undefeated champion now says he will not do it. He said, did I text Stephen A. Smith and say I will fight him again? Yeah, but I changed my mind at this particular time. No, because he's a sore loser and he's a coward. If you lost, accept the loss and say, Mayweather, you
can call Manny Pacquiao a whole lot of things, be my guest, but the one thing you cannot call Manny Pacquiao is a coward. Now, you can argue back to me that maybe Floyd's already trying to hype a potential rematch, but I am not buying that. I don't think that's operating here right now. I think Floyd Mayweather Jr. is actually trying to salvage whatever credibility he has left from what did or did not happen last Saturday night. A coward doesn't go all 12 rounds, the scheduled 12 rounds of a fight, with a significant tear of his rotator cuff that was about to require major shoulder surgery that will keep Manny.
Back to November 2009, I was a visionary. I knew that this day would come and this would happen. Skip, do you have a problem with Money saying now he will no longer fight Manny Pacquiao?
Stephen A. Smith, I have beyond a problem with this. I have outrage over this, and I have zero respect for this, because you